Throughout the CAS process so far in Year 11, I've participated in various activities. However, in this CAS interview, I would like to specifically highlight a few activities that stood out for me personally and made me reflect for the most part. As you may all know, I am a sports fanatic. I enjoy the competitive and team spirit environment and atmosphere. And in this CAS interview, I wish to open up on another side of me that you may not already know. First of all, I would like to talk about the mentorship program held in our school, followed by being as a deputy house captain in the house, and also the CAS week that I've participated in late December this year. To start this off, let me introduce what the mentorship program actually is. It is an event that CKY provides to us senior students as an opportunity to lead the Year 6 to be familiar with the school environment and get comfortable in the first few months as a secondary school student. So our role was to be there to assist them if they need help. And to be honest with you, I've been quite lucky to greet Year 6 that are very enthusiastic and would want to know more about me. Talking to inquisitive people just makes my job 10 times easier. They get in quite personal with me about their own life, and I do really enjoy the time spent with them. After the activity, I've came to realize that as I grow older, often we forget about the tiny, minor things that makes us happy. For example, one time I brought some chips for them and snacks, and we were eating together in the classroom, and we started playing chess games. Little things like that in the 21st century seem so minor, but what matters most is I enjoyed it, and I guess this is what quality time and happiness is all about. Where electronics are so convenient and inevitable, sometimes it just feels right to bond with one another using the most simple games such as the Chinese chess game. I used to play the Chinese chess with my parents when I was younger, just because I really enjoyed it. But as I grew up, I haven't came in contact with it for so long, and the bonding with a Year 6 just brings back so much memories to the days when I used to play chess with my parents and being so competitive. When I lose, I would just throw the games into the rubbish bin. The second thing that I like to share about is my experience in being the deputy house captain. In previous years, I've always been an active member of the house and was year coordinator for my respective year levels. However, I've decided to step it up a notch and take on a bigger responsibility and act as a deputy house captain this year. I am not always a confident member speaking to the public, but the role have pushed me and gave me that extra boost of confidence to coordinate with others, especially with other deputy house captains, and head of house. Hence, out of my comfort zone, speaking in front of the teachers and other house members. For example, in the Christmas presentation and sports day cheerleading event. Sometimes, as you get older, you just feel like, oh, this is my close friend group, and it's done. Nobody is coming into my tight circle, and I won't meet new friends just because I already have existing ones. But let's be honest, guys, there are millions of people in this world that I still haven't even talked to. So why limit yourself to only the friends you have now? And another story throughout organizing the cheerleading event that brought my attention was that it's a feeling of merriment that really touched me. It's an energy and high spirit in the group when everyone who participated wanted to actually help the house and everyone wanted to win so bad. Everyone tried their best, and the lesson learned from this is never give up. Although you may think this is very cliche, but this is what I truly learned. There are many days when I just don't feel like going to practice after school. I'd rather go down to the ground floor and play basketball. But then as a deputy house captain, sometimes you just have a chip on your shoulder telling yourself, hey, if you're just gonna give up, then why are you the deputy house captain? You're not just another member of the house, and you need to lead by example. It's really easy just to walk away when you don't feel like working and doing your part. But the question is, does that help the house spirit? Things are so much easier said than done. Life is full of different types of obstacles, but then what you truly achieve after is what shapes you as a better person. The last activity that was very reflective to me personally was the CAS Challenge Week. I visited the Southeast Asian minorities group in Hong Kong, and the aim of the Challenge Week was to get to know Southeast Asian stories and also giving them an extra boost of confidence, a discrimination-free spirit, letting them know, hey, you're a part of our community and we don't look at you in a different way. I wish to let them know that we approach you with an open arm, since we're all humans after all. Another aim was we really wished to raise funding for their own community center in Wong Tai Sin. What got me really inspired in this trip was knowing their stories. I truly believe that everyone has a story behind the smile you see every day. It might be bitter, but outsiders just never know about it. One of the stories I have came across was a family of 5 children. Their oldest daughter was just like my age, 17 years old, and she goes to a local school in Hong Kong. When we were discussing about what we wanted to do in the future and the career path and topics that may seem very common to every Hong Kong students and that we are very concerned about. When she told us her plan in the future, I was truly moved by how mature a 17-year-old can possibly be. What she said briefly was that she wanted to be a teacher and go into the educational field. And the reason was because she knows it is very hard for minorities in Hong Kong to make it out to the community and get a stable job. So her aim was along the lines of helping other Southeast Asians that are less fortunate than her and teach them Chinese, because she knows that it is very difficult to fit into the Hong Kong educational system for Southeast Asian minorities in Hong Kong. According to her story, she knew she couldn't get into famous universities such as Hong Kong U, Chinese University of Hong Kong, and such top-named schools, because her parents can barely afford the education now. So it would be totally impossible to go to those schools without a scholarship. And bear in mind that we were chatting for 45 minutes in a house that is 500 square feet, living with 7 people and without a single air conditioner. Can you imagine the life for them and the struggle they go through daily? In a well-developed city like Hong Kong, poverty is yet still a problem, and what really gets me inspired was the positivity they face life with. Growing up in a family background with a stable income, I never had to go through what they go through now. And all I used to do when I was young was to play at home, kicking football whilst the air conditioner was on in the summer, because I had the resources. So growing up, I actually never realized that just a few kilometers away from my home, there are people living in extreme condition, unlike me, having a stable and enjoyable childhood. To conclude my CAS interview, the above 3 activity really stood out to me because I understand that as a student athlete in Hong Kong, you can't really make it far, and the opportunities you are given is limited. But throughout the process, it brought me to realize that reaching out to other people in need was what really meant much to me, and I truly feel honored and appreciate the experience I have in all this month into the IB program. It was tough knowing some of the stories from the Southeast Asian minorities group, and it was a bittersweet feeling comparing my stories with theirs. But after all, I was glad and really blessed to have an environment growing up that was safe and was protected from all the trials that other children in my age might have to face. And that's about it for my first CAS interview.